Right now at 6 o'clock, deadly violence in Hartford. 2 different shootings and a stabbing, all in the last 24 hours. We'll break down where detectives are in those cases.
Over at Duncan Park, 25 people can finally call America their home sweet home. We'll look at the citizenship ceremony that took place at the ballpark.
Also, of course, 4th of July celebrations all over the state. In New Britain, thousands came out to show their patriotism. We'll take you there.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning, sunshine. 6 o'clock on a Friday, or Friday, as I like to say, to sprinkle a little razzle-dazzle on it. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. It's like the Friday equivalent of jazz hands. And meteorologist Matt Scott will probably start doing, there we go. We know.
Put a little razzle-dazzle. Exactly. Razzle-dazzle on the radar right now. We got a couple of cells to talk about. See, that's a trained professional segueing like that into weather. Let's talk about what you need to know before you go. More of the same, although I think there's an increased opportunity for storms now and later. We'll talk about that. A bit more heat, a bit more storm opportunity for Saturday. Details on that coming up. Radar picture looks better now, but we've still got a little bit of rain right now that we've been watching over parts of, here, let's try that again. Maybe the computer will behave. There you go. Right over Woodstock, over into Thompson. That's basically it for now. There is more coming. It is warm. It is steamy. Low to mid 70s out there. Your dew points also in the low 70s. Very tropical. The atmosphere is all juiced up, and so as you bubble up the heat, you bubble up the storms. Here's 1 o'clock. You can see it's a little, well, you see, start to see it picks up a little bit, 4, 5, 6 o'clock, and that continues into the evening, which means there is an opportunity that a couple of you towns that have firework displays for tonight may not. So we'll watch for that quite carefully. So it's the typical July stuff. Heat, humidity, a couple of storms, numbers getting into the mid 80s. I mean, you get a little warmer than that. And you can see the opportunities of rain are there pretty much throughout the day into the evening hour. So it is going to bear watching. The radar, of course, at fox61.com. Of course, it's on your news app, as will be any alerts that you need to have. We'll talk about it all, the weekend forecast, including a look at the bonanza forecast. That's all coming up in a few minutes. Symphony, what you got on the roads?
All right, the morning commute is shaping up just fine so far in the 6 o'clock hour. All green on the map, no major holdups to report. Taking a live look at 91 in Hartford, where the traffic volume's pretty light at this point. Hartford drive times looking good, no delays on 91, 84, or Route 2 in the Glastonbury area. Similar scene out in New Haven. Not many people out along 95 this morning. Looks like there is a minor slowdown on 95 south in between New Haven and Bridgeport. Speeds down to 44 miles per hour, and you should get there in about 30 minutes. All right, 6:03, we're following some breaking news this morning. A violent night here in the capital city. We've learned one person is dead after an early morning shooting, and several people are injured in separate incidents.
Yeah, a lot to get to, as you can hear. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is live on Cleveland Avenue with more on what we know. Lindsay, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Well, Hartford police are investigating 3 separate incidents ending 4th of July with multiple injuries and 1 fatality. Now, as you can see, police are still on scene here on Cleveland Avenue after a woman was shot and killed. Police say officers were called here at 12:50 this morning. When they got on scene, they found a woman and a man in their 20s. The woman was unresponsive, and she was taken to the hospital where she died. The man was alert, but was also taken to the hospital. Police say the 2 were in a car when they were shot. Now, the victim's name has not been released at this time, but her family is identifying her as 24-year-old Shamari Williams. They say they believe she was caught in the crossfire, leaving a 4th of July party.
My niece was so humble and innocent, smart girl, go to work every day, better in her life, calm, easygoing. She was so soft-spoken. This was really unnecessary, very unnecessary.
Also on Seymour Street, police say 2 people were shot around 11:30 last night. A 19-year-old man is in the hospital in critical condition. A man in his 20s is also in the hospital in stable condition. And lastly, around 7:15 last night, police say someone was stabbed on New Britain Avenue. Now that person is expected to be okay, but police are still investigating all of these incidents. No arrests have been made at this time, but they're asking anyone with any information to contact Hartford Police. Live in Hartford this morning, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Alrighty, thank you, Lindsay. A Trumbull man has died from what police are calling an accidental drowning. This happened at Pinewood Lake in the Nichols section of Trumbull. 38-year-old William Cry was at the lake with family members Wednesday night. Police said he went under the water and did not come back up. He was pulled from the water just after 7 p.m. and was pronounced dead at a hospital. The Pinewood Lake and beach area were temporarily closed but have since reopened.
Also in Trumbull, police arrested an employee of a vocational rehab program and accused him of beating a special needs student with a cane. 53-year-old Andre Dickens is facing a charge of second-degree assault on a disabled person and other charges. The victim had some deep cuts and facial injuries. Police said Dickens claimed the student fell, but they said they have surveillance video of the attack. Dickens is due in court July 16th. In Glastonbury, police had to close New London Turnpike for a while because of this crash. We don't know if anybody was hurt or how badly, but you can see they had to cut the top right off of one car. Police closed the pike between Conestoga Way and Old Stage Road for several hours, but it has since reopened.
25 Connecticut residents can now officially call themselves American citizens. A naturalization ceremony was held at Duncan Park in Hartford prior to the Hartford Yard Goats game. Fox 61's Kaylee Collins was there and spoke to some of the newest U.S. citizens.
Patriotism in full force at Duncan Park in Hartford as 25 people took the oath of allegiance to America.
What could be more American than new citizens on July 4th in a ballpark? All we need is apple pie.
This is the third time that the naturalization ceremony has been held on Independence Day, adding to the pride felt among these candidates.
It's been quite a while. It takes me like 9 years. I'm feeling great, and especially on the holiday, July 4th, I'm really happy, very excited.
The new citizens come from 15 different countries. For many of them, it's been a years-long process filled with eligibility requirements and lots of studying for a citizenship test and interview.
A lot of work to be here today. So, yeah, just grateful for everything, for this moment, for the whole moment this country will give to us, for me, for my family.
Proud wouldn't be the word. I'm beyond proud of my mother. She's done a lot for us. As 3 brothers, I think that we overcame a lot of stuff together with the help of my mom, especially. She's worked so hard to get to this point. Feels very, very patriotic.
And in true American fashion, the ceremony was followed by America's pastime, courtesy of the Hartford Yard Goats. The Yard Goats faced off against the Rumble Ponies at home. The naturalization ceremony, a home run for all involved.
Happy July 4th, my fellow Americans. Thank you.
Reporting in Hartford, Kaylee Collins, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.